So Wesley Huff made a post on X stating that the Book of Enoch ascribes the title Son of Man, a messianic and divine designation, to Enoch himself. But I'm going to show you why this is a wrong interpretation of the Ethiopic Ge'ez text from which the Book of Enoch was originally translated into English in the 1800s. So, Wesley Huff or any other Western scholar studying the Book of Enoch, especially the Ethiopic text, would have known this if they had actually understood the Semitic language. But unfortunately, Wesley Huff doesn't even acknowledge the historical fact that the Book of Enoch was preserved as a full continuous text in the Ethiopic. He says that what we have today as the Book of Enoch is an amalgamation of the fragments that were found in the 20th century. But this is false, and anyone can verify that. So a closer examination of the original language shows it is more nuanced than a straightforward identification with the pre-existent heavenly judge described elsewhere in the parables in 1 Enoch chapters 37 through 71. The key passage in 1 Enoch chapter 71 verse 14 in the Ethiopic text reads as follows: وَيَأْتِي مَلَعَكْ مَزْعَنِّي وَيْبَلَنِّي أَنْتَ وَأْتُ وَلْدَ بِئْسِي زَتَوَلْدَ لَصِدْقْ وَصِدْقْ يُوَدِّي بَلْ عَلَيْكَ وَصِدْقَ رِأْسَ مَوَائِلْ يُوَدِّيكَ. So this is in the ancient Semitic Ethiopic language. And a direct translation of the Ethiopic text is, "And that angel came to me and said to me, You are the Son of Man who was born for righteousness, and righteousness dwells upon you, and the righteousness of the head of days will not forsake you." In Ethiopic, Ge'ez, Welda Be'esi, with variants like Welda Sabe'e, literally means son of a man, or human offspring. It functions as a generic descriptor for a mortal human being, referring to Enoch's humanity and righteous status, rather than the fixed eschatological title, the Son of Man, familiar from Daniel 7 and later traditions. By contrast, the more specific messianic title, the Son of Man, referring to the pre-existent heavenly figure, is typically rendered in Ethiopic as Welde Egwale Mheyao, son of the offspring of the living one. The phrasing in chapter 71, verse 14, is an angelic address to Enoch directly. You are that Son of Man who was born for righteousness, highlighting his human origins and moral character, not equating him with the transcendent, pre-existent judge described in earlier chapters of the parables. This distinction, of course, matters because the parables of Enoch elsewhere portray the Son of Man as a heavenly pre-existent figure who sits on a throne of glory, judges the wicked, and brings salvation to the righteous, and one can refer to chapters 46, 48, 62, 63, and 69. Identifying Enoch with this figure in chapter 71, verse 14, has wrongly led to the assumption that the Book of Enoch, or 1 Enoch, isn't inspired, or that it's a false text, because the Son of Man is the prophetic title of the Messiah, Christ. But the generic language supports a contextually different reading. The angel affirms Enoch's righteous humanity without collapsing the two figures entirely. Scholars debate whether 1 Enoch 71:14 is original, a later addition, or reflects textual variants, because some manuscripts shift between generic and titular phrasing, whereas the Ethiopic text, as preserved, does not unambiguously make Enoch the divine messianic Son of Man of the visions, but instead addresses him in his human capacity.